Well, hello there. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a lovely Monday morning, wherever you're located. I've done some tweaking with my Salvador. What's up? With my reverb unit here, so I have a bit more of a wider sound, a bit warmer. I find that I have to always tweak my tone a little bit, otherwise I get bored. So Salvador, how are you doing? Are you at home now, or what are you doing? Trying to get those right as well. Not easy. If you want to try, I'm in the key of E minor, and I'm trying to get these harmonics down. So they're on the 12th fret, on the 7th fret, and on the 5th fret. There's obviously more of them, but these are the ones that are, I find, a little bit easier to try to come up with the melody. So I like that. Salvador's waiting for me to shred some melodic solos. Man, I just got so nervous that I turned down the volume knob. So the shredding usually comes a bit later in the stream when I'm warmed up. Just I'm not ignoring your request. I'm just waiting for my hands to get ready. But try this. You can see if you can get a groove going. And see, maybe you can play some chords that are related to E minor, like, E minor, or even like B minor or something like that. I think it adds another kind of dimension to it, so I really like that. The last one is hard to get. The thing is, what I'm finding here is that I need to play harder and harder the further up I come. So you can play the harmonic softly here, and then you have to pick a little bit harder. And at the end, you really have to pick hard in order to compensate for the volume loss. By all means, if you are there with the guitar, please join me in the key of E minor. You can play a pentatonic scale. You could. You knew how to. There we go. It's just a standard pentatonic box there, no? So are we getting okay sound here? Sometimes it seems my voice is a bit messed up. So can you hear what I'm saying? Cool, Regular Ghost. Polyphia. I don't know any of their songs. I haven't learned any songs for like 20 years, but I think there's a lot of like, and there's like, something like that, you know, slide around a little bit, add some harmonics, and then maybe play some, like maybe weirder voicings. But I don't know anything by Polyphia. If you want to try adding those kind of tricks into your playing, it's all about doing those harmonics on the 12th fret, 7th fret, and the 5th fret. And if possible, and I kind of suck at this, so I have to work on it, leave them ringing. That's kind of a key, so you get a more complex kind of voicing type. Cool, I'm glad you like it, Regular Ghost. So right, so you get it all ringing. It sounds cooler. Maybe you can even do, I don't know. I don't know. Like, and then so that's a simple kind of voicing. If you want to sound a little bit mysterious, you can just slide up to the 7th fret here on the D string, and then 5th fret on the G string, and you can do, and that should leave you some room to maybe try and add something on top here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just tapping in the key of E minor there, so. Question by Saigon: how to properly do pinch harmonics. So first of all, I haven't done any pinch harmonics here, right? These are just artificial harmonics. So if you're unsure about those, I'm just first going to cover those. These are just where you lightly touch the string, right? You're not supposed to fret or anything like that. You're just lightly touching and then letting go. Let's see if I can maybe... Let's see if I can zoom in here so I can really show you what's going on. So, I'm not doing this, where I press down, right? I'm just lightly above the fret wire. Okay? And then I'm doing the same on the 7th and on the 5th fret. However, you asked about artificial harmonics, and there's a whole bunch of ways you can do that. Let me see if I can. You could do like that. But yeah, that's probably not what you're asking about. So you might be asking about these, right? So these are classic artificial harmonics, and they're basically done by touching the string lightly with a thumb right as you strike it with your pick. So you pick, and at the same time, you're holding the pick in a way, I don't know if you can see that, yeah, so that the flesh of the thumb is so close to the edge of the pick, so you're gonna pretty much mute the string as you pick it. But the trick is to just, again, lightly touch it. That's when you get that high sounding pitch harmonic. And it's also important to understand that, cool, Matthews wants me to keep playing cleanly. I'm gonna do that, thanks man. But nothing really happens with these pinch harmonics until you give it a shake, right? So if you're into heavy metal and you got a distorted sound, they're gonna come to life when you do. That's not gonna happen here though, because I have a clean sound. But that's the essence of it. Cool. So I'm gonna do a bit more clean playing here then. From Tokyo, what's up, man? V David, what's up, my man? So I did not play the history of metal in one song. That was one of our instructors, Ben Higgins. And I think he's playing a Jackson in that video. But I think if you go to the video, and you're going to find a video description. If you click that, it's going to take you to the GMC lesson. And there he specifies the gear used. So you can also see what amp he used and stuff like that. I don't know the eruption solo. Mike from Israel, what's up, my man? So I'm trying to come up with chord voicings on the fly there. It doesn't work that well, but basically in the key of E minor, you have a lot of options if you want to have like nice open chord voicings. So, and I what I tried to do there was to get the open G string, because that's the minor third, and that's really gonna give me a cool kind of mysterious kind of edge if I can have that ringing in my voicings. But I couldn't, because I suck, so I have to practice it some more. But let's see here. That's nice. So you get the point. I'm having a bass note there. I'm letting it ring anywhere in the key of E minor. And then I'm trying to play that open G string, because that's going to give me that kind of, that's a minor third, and it has a nice kind of sound. And then just any key, any notes in the key of E minor. So you're obviously going to have to learn the whole key of E minor if you want to move around, but you can start simple and just learn one position. Usually people learn a position up here, which is fine for soloing, but maybe you want to learn something down here if you want to play these voicings. I don't know. A tip for you, if you go to the GMC website, you have a scale generator in the header menu, so you can just find any scale you want there and learn it. So thank you so much for the support, Matthews. It means a lot, because I've recently switched to playing a lot of metal and distorted stuff to doing this. So it means a lot to know that you appreciate it, because I'm kind of new at it. Priya is here. What's up, my man? So David likes my guitar. So this is an Ibanez RG652AHM. Porto, what's up, my man? Neil is here, awesome. So I try to weave in some shredding there. If you want to try this, it's again in the key of E minor. And what I did was just this kind of legato thing. So starting on the 2nd fret, 2, 3, 5, and then the same thing on the next string. And then we're going to go back using pull off. So it's all hammer on up to this point. We obviously pick the first note, right? Pick, and then hammer on, hammer on, hammer on, hammer on. And then pull off, pull off, pull off, pull off, pull off. And then pull off to the E note. And that's the key part here, because we want to get that E note ringing so that we can do stuff on top of it. And again, it's kind of easy when we're in the key of E minor because all the open strings are fine, which means if we want to get some harmony going, we don't have to use a lot of fingers, right? We could just do... Because you can play on the open strings as well, and you have that open E note ringing. So you can try that. Cool, we have some questions there. Secret to smooth legato. Cool. Parton, doing good. I hope you're doing good too in these crazy times. We have snow here, although it's spring. It's crazy. We have Corona and we have snow, so could be better, but we're okay here since we're doing a really cool live stream here. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm definitely gonna answer your question there about legato, and we got a new question from Neil. I'm just gonna show you some more since I started explaining this one. So 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, and then go back all the way to 0. You can add a little bit of palm muting there if you want to get some more like staccato or percussive out of it. So where we want to go from there is definitely up to you. But again, in spite of this legato thing being kind of difficult, harmonically it gets really simple since we're in the key of E minor, right? We do that lick, and then we let the E note ring, and then we can do whatever we want. So you don't have to get fancy with the voicings, chord voicings. However, you could do that as well. So you can get that slide going. I don't know. It's just some ideas. It's a lot of times when I practice, if I get some inspiration by doing one single lick like that, then I'll just keep going at it for maybe 20 minutes as long as I'm inspired. Because I find that single idea can generate so much new inspiration. And that's kind of the optimal practice session for me. If I use some musical element as a foundation when practicing. Because then I know that it's gonna, everything I learn from that session is gonna have like a musical foundation. I just have to open the window here. It's getting kind of hot. Okay, so now this definitely, the question about smooth legato definitely is a good one to cover here, since this one is based around legato. So first, I just have to say that I have like a background of trying to shred a lot, so I've been doing a lot of exercises back and forth. So classic, standard kind of exercises for legato, and you can just Google those and you're going to find whatever. But I don't really recommend those, What I would recommend is understanding the mechanics behind legato, and that's going to give you definitely the best and the quickest results. It's not going to be fast, but it's going to be quicker. So what I usually try to do is, regardless of what technique I'm trying to learn, is to always be totally relaxed, right? So that's the foundation of legato, and it's especially important for legato. If you tense up with legato, you're never gonna reach the higher speeds. You won't get any precision or tone, and you're gonna get tired really fast. You're gonna run out of steam, basically. So playing with tension is always a big no-no, but for legato, it's an even bigger no-no. So you get my point there. Totally relaxed. And that means that whenever I can, I try to not have, can you see this? That posture with the thumb down here. I find it more relaxed to have the thumb up here. However, especially with this kind of guitar, it's not easy. A lot of times you have to go down here. So most of the time, I am down here. But if you can avoid it, that's going to be the best for being relaxed. However, as soon as you need to stretch, you're going to have to go down with the thumb. So that's the number one. Be relaxed. So legato has nothing to do with force. If you think you gotta hit the notes hard in order to make them ring, you got it wrong. What it's all about is precision. If you hit the note like that with your index finger, let's say, you're gonna notice there's a substantial difference in tone whether you hit on the fret wire, or if you hit in the middle between two fret wires, or if you hit right next to it. So that's where you should aim. Always as close as possible to the fret wire, but not on the fret wire. I'd say this is the most important foundation. If you can understand this, then you've got it down. However, you're going to realize in order to accomplish these things, that also means you have to take it really easy. If you try to push speed, you're going to tense up and you're going to fail with number one. Plus, how are you going to learn to be precise if you're pushing speed? That's impossible. So you're going to fail with number two as well. So you have to take it really easy and you have to think about those two things. Yeah, that's for legato, probably the most important thing I would say. And then, I know, even though I did a lot of years with those traditional legato exercises with whatever, the big thing for me was when I slowed down to doing it like this, in spite of being able to play fast legato, because then when I played it at these slow tempos, even though I started getting advanced technically, then I realized that, hey, at this tempo, I can actually improvise in my technique practicing. So I would be practicing technique, precision, and all the stuff I mentioned. Plus, it would be improvised lines. They didn't sound amazing or anything like that. It's just that I didn't have this fixed pattern that I repeated. I was constantly doing variation. Now, when you put all that together, I think you have a recipe for a super cool style, which is kind of improvisation based, and you're going to learn to be relaxed and all that good stuff. So this is really my way of doing it. And I'm going to plug my lessons because I'm saying it now. This is exactly what I teach on the GMC website with my Jam School. And most of my lessons rely on this, but specifically the Jam School series teaches you this approach. Okay. Trash riffing. Yeah, I'm an expert. Do unto others as they done to you, but what the hell is this word coming to? Fight fire with fire. No, the answer is no. Okay, so Neil is saying, do you have chord changes in your head that you try to follow with your melody, or the melody leads everything and you resolve it to the chord, can pick that involves the rule? Resolve it to the chord, you can pick that. So I think I get where you're getting at there. Most of the time, I'm just totally lost within a key, right? So I just move around and see what comes out. And a lot of times, when you've done that for a little while, you hear that, hey, all of a sudden, I didn't sound lost there, so I must have done something good. And then you repeat that, and you do that, and you repeat it all over and over, and that becomes a foundation of something that sounds intentional. That's what happened here. Right? So I started out just noodling, and then that sounded more like could be a song or whatever, just something that was a bit more intentional. Then I have some chord, I try to tell myself that it's good that if I know some traditional chord progressions, and just to practice having like a bass note ringing while I do this. So, for example, this kind of... So like, so I'm in the key of B minor, right? This is like super standard 1 to 5 to 6 to 7 in minor. So nothing fancy, but yeah, I do a little bit of that just to have a foundation, and then I know that if I can come up with stuff on top of that, it's gonna maybe sound like I know what I'm doing. So. Right? So that you just going up and down, and yeah. But no, I don't have lots of theoretical plans. I do have some theory knowledge. If I need to, I can sit down and try to analyze what I did. Although it takes me a lot of time, so I seldomly bother. But yeah, most of the time it's just having fun playing. And if it sounds good, it is good. And I base my stuff around that. So you get tensed up when I try to play what? Trash riffing. Okay. Yeah. What I said there about being relaxed, it can be a little problematic for some types of picking. So in those cases, it's more about controlling tension. You can't be totally relaxed. You need a bit of tension there, but you need to be in control of it. So that means as you practice stuff slowly, you got to constantly evaluate whether you really need to be as tensed up as you are. Maybe you only need it for that specific that part which is extra difficult, and then you can relax again. So what that means is you're going to save your horses until you really need them. Save your horsepower, or wherever the expression is. So that would be my advice. If you're tensing up while doing trash stuff, you need to tense up a little bit. But then I haven't seen you play, so it could also be maybe you're starting out and you're just trying to push everything, speed and everything, and just totally tensed up. And maybe you need to take a couple steps back if that's the case. So it depends a little bit on your situation. But controlling tension is a good thing, and not trying to play stuff too fast in the beginning is also a good thing. Yeah, exactly, Neil. I follow my instincts. That's the key. So Devansh, you can't downpick everything if you're going to play like classic trash by Metallica or Anthrax. There's a limit to what you can do with downpicking, right? I think that limit goes down to like Masters of Puppets. If you're James Hetfield, you can downpick that, but then you can't really go faster with downpicking. You have to start doing down and up, right? And for the fast stuff, whatever, you can't do that with downpicking. It's impossible because... well, trust me, it's impossible. So there's a limit there. So for sure, you can't downpick everything. Mayank, what's up, my man? Missed your comment. So Neil is saying, I see that you reach out to and play a few neighboring notes with a free finger and add this melodic quality to your voicing. Sounds pretty cool. Exactly. That's really my best approach right now for me. I'm kind of new at this, but if I can find a voicing that sounds good, I think I was in the key of A minor, and I've got one finger over, right? This sounds okay. This is more than enough as a foundation if I want to have some harmony going as I come up with the melody. And I got that finger hanging there, then that means this is an opportunity, right? Especially if there are notes I can reach within the scale. So So yeah, if you got an extra finger hanging there, then sometimes you can adjust your voicing so that you get that finger, right? So if I were to do, I want to go down there, I can, move that finger to the bass, and then I'm gonna get this finger so I can reach the note I wanted to reach, right? It's the same kind of voicing, but I just swap the fingers a little bit in order to be able to reach the notes I need to reach. Yeah, good point there. Oh, I realize you can't even see what I'm doing there. Good point there, Neil. It might sound theoretically advanced, but all I'm doing here, really, all I'm doing is just playing the key of E minor, moving things around. Sometimes E harmonic minor, but you can skip that and it's still going to sound awesome. So think just one scale and think having a bass note and try to play a melody at the same time, and then it starts to sound advanced, right? But you're just randomly picking note and using your ears. And of course, it's not going to sound good in the beginning, but that never really bothered me. It's more about having fun when you're playing. So if it sounds good, if it is fun what you're doing, it's going to eventually sound really good to others as well. So I think most people should really just trust their ears. They think, oh, if I were a genius, I could trust my ears, but I can't, so I have to learn all this theory. But that's not true. If you like listening to music, then your ears are in tune, and good stuff is going to come out if you just give it some time. And of course, you can record yourself once in a while to sort of check where you're at and things you want to change. But I think that goes without saying today. Everybody shares on social media. So, yeah. You don't have to learn advanced theory. You could definitely start by just checking out that scale generator and, go for the E minor scale or something. B minor, whatever. That doesn't really matter either. The good thing with E minor is it's a common key. A lot of guitarists tend to play it, so it's good if you want to jam. But also you have all these open notes, which you don't necessarily have in other scales, which is a good thing if you want to try to, get some harmony going. Right? so much from Santiago de Chile. Awesome, man. Really, it's really happy just to hear you guys are from all over the world, and I'm happy you guys are hopefully sitting inside and not going too much where there's a crowd, right? We want to keep it to digital crowds right now. Cool question there by Neil. Any advice on getting better at rhythmic phrasing to have your kind of continuity in playing, especially newly? I've been struggling with that a lot. I've always found my rhythm skills to be kind of lacking. It doesn't really matter if we're speaking rhythm guitar, definitely, but even the rhythm within my lead lines, I have never been happy with that. And I find that this is actually what I'm doing here is a good method of practicing that. And we discussed it before, but having that pulse going, I think that's really key. What some people like to do, and I know like Paul Gilbert, he had his Intense Rock 2 video. I don't know if you've seen that, but he in there he's like presenting what he calls like a revolutionary practice method. And I can imagine that for him and his followers, it really is, because in his first video, he taught these kind of whatever picking stuff. So everybody was doing that like crazy in the 80s. But then they realized they had, their lead lines had really no connection with the rhythm. So what he started doing instead was like a simple blues where he whatever, and then try to squeeze in some. So that's the basic, the basis of it. If you can have like some pulse going, some rhythm going, it doesn't matter if you want to gravitate towards your classic blues rhythms or something else, like this kind of percussive. It's just a great way to teach your mind and body how to get a feel for that pulse so that it's constantly flowing. Because what's going to happen then is it's going to keep flowing as you gravitate towards those lead lines. And that's really the key here. So if we start out like this. If you try to do that, and if you're new to this, obviously it's not going to sound good and all of that, but it's still, it's the approach that matters. You can do it slowly. And having that rhythm constantly going, that's if you keep that as your practice strategy, you're going to get those downbeats and stuff like that within your lead lines. So that's really, I think, the best advice I can give. I'm not a fan of counting stuff and 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 that stuff. Some people like to do that, and I'm it's a cool tool if you're learning songs and stuff like that, but I don't think it's a very musical tool to sit and count. I think I'd like to think that whatever I'm playing on the guitar goes beyond just counting something, over and over. I'd much rather like have a picture of something I did last summer as I play and have that color my lines, and not 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. But that's to each his own there. Whatever works for you. Okay, so let's say you're a beginner, you're watching this, and you don't really understand what's going on. Let's see if we can just break things down. First of all, here's the actual rhythmic approach here. It's a matter of hitting all the strings, right? So if you can tap your foot, as you would when listening or playing music, tap your foot. You can also tap your right hand. This is the foundation. Now, whatever you can play in between those hits is basically going to be a good foundation for playing something that's percussive and that's rhythmical, right? And it doesn't have to be fancy with like a ringing bass note and some advanced harmonies on top. You can just... it's easy for me to play too fast should try to slow down. So if you can do that, that's a great foundation. And in fact, I guess that's all you need in order to start building upon your rhythmic and percussive playing. And you can play any scale that you know, or even if you don't know any scale, just use your ears, you know? Play one note. You like it? Well, it's okay. You like the next one? No, I did not like that. Okay, that's better. We have two notes, right? Maybe slide between them, maybe repeat them. And so on and so forth. If you sit like that and have fun with that, good things are going to come in your playing. And also, of course, you can learn other people's materials. And sometimes I get inspired by just watching people on, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and can see really, just by looking at the video, you don't even have to sit down and try to steal their stuff. You can just see that, okay, there's a bass note going on there. Or maybe there were some harmonies, and then you can try to steal those concepts within your rhythmic playing there. So on and so forth. Cool. So I'm really happy you guys joined me today. This was a really nice session, and I'll be doing more of these. So stay tuned here on Facebook and, of course, at the GMC website. I hope maybe, if I'm lucky, someone of you is going to join in the collabs, because we have like a song collab going on where I sing, and you don't want to miss that. Or maybe you do want to miss that. So that's all happening in the GMC forum. But until next time, I wish you some great practicing and some great percussive playing. Most importantly, stay safe. Have a good one. Cheers.